Hello everyone, I'm FARMERSIM and welcome back to the Dig Out of Debt series here on Gage, Kentucky. I do hope you're all doing very well and having a fabulous day. So, before I kick off, I wanted to ask a bit of a favour of a few of you, if you don't mind. The last couple of weeks I've kind of spent a little bit of time delving into the analytical side of my YouTube channel. And interestingly, the data shows that across my entire channel, not just focused on this series, but across everything that I've made so far, when it comes down to viewers, it shows that pretty much, as near as makes no difference, about 50% of viewers of my channel aren't actually subscribers. So it was a kind of a bit of a favour, if you will. Those of you who are viewing this video, welcome to the channel. If you're not a subscriber, if you wouldn't mind, it would be hugely appreciated if you could just click that subscribe button if you like what you see and what you've heard from me so far, of course, because it does go a huge way to you know, keeping not just motivation, but just it's the first metric that as a YouTuber, as a channel content creator, that you see, you know, when it comes to the growth of your channel. So, but yeah, it's just interesting to know that, you know, like I say, as near as makes no difference, about 50% of viewers aren't actually subscribers. So it would mean the absolute world to me if you could just give that subscribe button a click, jump on board, join the channel. Like I say, it just goes a huge way to helping the channel grow. It does do huge things, it really does. So yeah, I'd be greatly appreciative. Sorry, if you could do that, that'd be awesome. Thank you. So anyway, onwards with the evening's work, and I say evening, it's 5:15. The weather is relatively decent for the next few hours ahead of us, so I want to take advantage of that. Look, I looked at the weather for the second day of September. We are playing in 2-day months at the minute, so that second day of September will be the last day, and there is a little bit of a rain icon there. So until we get to the 2nd of September, I'm just going to stick with where we are now, take advantage of the nice weather and the lack of rain coming up in the next few hours anyway. So I'm now on the way to Gage Grain. We're going to go and pick ourselves up a big tank of lime. I've got the wonderful DN345 John Deere lime spreader from LR Modding on the back of me here. We're going to go and load up. It's got a capacity of about 20,300 litres, if I remember correctly. So yeah, it could be quite an expensive job, this one, I think. What I think I'm going to do, we've got 2 empty fields at the minute that we've one that we harvested a couple of episodes ago, and one that we created as well. Now on top of that as well, I have also just been sitting down and giving myself a bit of a crop plan moving forward, so I've got an idea of what I'm going to be doing. So what we are going to be doing is field 29 here, that we did do with the harvesting an episode or so ago. We're going to be planting canola in here. Now September is the end of the window for planting canola, so that's what I'm going to focus on first. But obviously we firstly need to spread some lime and bring up that pH value. So yeah, we're going to throw some canola in field 29 there. The custom field here that we created, I'm going to throw some barley in there. This is obviously this was a custom field that we got a load of grass out of. Field 35, the field of corn. I think I'm going to keep this as corn for now because it is such a massive field. Obviously, those of you who stuck along with the series so far know that we're going to be throwing all the corn from this field into the corn dryer and hopefully making a load of money from that in the near future. So yeah, I'm going to stick with corn for this field. Field 136, or plot of land 136. Once we've got the grass out of here, and I think I did mention that the idea is we're going to mow the grass, and I think we're going to lease a bale wrapper temporarily and make a bit of money from a bit of silage hopefully as well. We'll probably keep a few grass bales aside just to tot up the what we've got in the shed, but we've got about 450,000 litres of grass in bale form over in the bale shed at the minute, so I don't need to stress too much about running out of grass in the near future. And then here we have, so once we've got the grass out of that field, then we're going to put some wheat in there, I think. And we also do have 2 smaller fields that currently has soybeans in. Once we've got the soybeans out of the ground, and then over the next couple of months, the plan is I'm going to join these 2 fields together and add a little bit more. There's a little bit of area of grass that kind of runs around towards the side of the farm there. We're going to join all that together, create a slightly bigger field, and then we're going to keep that one as grass, so we do still have a grass field that we can utilise for our animals. So that's the plan. Here we are at Gage Grain. And it's just a really cool feature of this map, but as you can see, the signage that we've got on the left and the right here shows us which which areas we need to come to tot up. So if I jump out of cab here, let's pull this back here, and then we can fill up with lime, and we're going to see how much 20,300 litres is going to cost us. I've got no idea how far this is going to go. Of course, I am running precision farming. We're going to work in those 2 fields initially, the 2 empty fields at the minute. So how much is this going to cost? Bum, bum, bum. Almost there. $1,844. That's not anywhere near as bad as I thought it was. Lime's always been a funny one for me. Every time we get to it, I always assume it's going to be vastly expensive, but that really wasn't bad at all. I think maybe there's an element of work from Gagefield there, maybe, because I'm sure that's cheaper than usual. 20,000 litres for $1,844. Let's just have a look at going into our menu very quickly. Where's lime? 450 for 2,000. Oh, maybe not, maybe not. I always seem to get confused between lime and solid fertiliser and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, it's alright. That's not bad at all. So, let's crack on. As I say, we're going to throw some lime onto those 2 empty fields, get those ready, and then that should be us. That's a good bit of work done for the rest of this evening. And then we'll crack on first thing tomorrow morning, where we're going to be picking up our pretty small seeder. Actually, this implement itself has got a spreading width of, I think, about 32 meters. It doesn't actually display it in the garage, but when you it's just through using Courseplay that I've been able to determine the working width of this particular spreader. It doesn't actually give the information on the mod hub either when you download it, in the information on the mod hub there. So, but yeah, Courseplay has told me that it has a spreading width of 32 meters, so it might not take too long, but there may be 1 or 2 trips back here to fill up again. But at $1,840 per tank, I don't think it's going to break the bank too much, which is great. And then once that's done, like I say, we'll call it a day for today, and then we'll no doubt have to come back here in the morning with the trailer and pick up a few bags of seed, and then we can get working and drilling some canola, planting our first seed. So I'll get cracking with this, get back to the field, throw some music behind this relatively sizable job, and I'll see you soon. So there we go. Now, That was pretty incredible, quite frankly, and I'm almost convinced now that Gagefield, while making this map, has dialed down the usage of lime. We've used, as you can see, we've got 11,958 litres still behind us. This is the first tank that we purchased back at the beginning there, so we've only used 8,342 litres of lime across both of those fields. And of course, as well, going back to the cost of the stuff, we paid $1,844 for 20,300 litres. Now, of course, if I was to buy that much lime from the shop at $450 for 2,000 litres, all in all, this should have cost us 4,500 litres. So he's definitely dialed down the price of that when you purchase it in bulk from the Gage grain fertiliser production purchase point there. So that's brilliant. We've saved $2,656 just from that alone. Now, I did spend on top of that, because one thing that had slipped my mind was just before I came to do the liming of that field, I realised that I hadn't actually bought in the precision farming data for that particular piece of land. So I did very, very quickly lease out one of Akimobile's the range extension mod of the soil scanner. So all in all, I spent $1,317 doing that as well. So quids in, quite frankly, ladies and gentlemen, or dollars in, as it would be in this area of the world anyway. So, and it didn't take too long either. We're still only at 6:10 in the evening. So I think what I am going to do, I'm going to, again, carrying on with what I was doing at the beginning, or what I said at the beginning of this episode, I'm going to take full advantage of the fact that we've still got some decent weather ahead of us now, and we're going to carry on with the work. Oh, I forgot to open the door then, didn't I? We're going to carry on with the work, and we are going to hitch up the... Eventually, we're going to hitch up the drill. We're going to... I'm possibly going to have a go with the older tractor here, possibly, but we're going to take a quick trip first and foremost down to the... back to the shop. We're going to pick up a load of pallets of seed. Now, I'm going to go for pallets because, again, you can get a little bit more for your money. I'll show you what I mean now if we just jump into the correct menu. Scroll down to where we can get our seeds from. So, here we are. Now, you can get, same price, you can get 1,000 litres for £1,260 if you buy them in big bag form or from the in this form as well. But if we go for these bagged pallets, as it were, you can get 1,050 litres for $1,260. So we'll be going for those. I'm not too sure how many I'm going to buy. I'm not going to hazard a guess and say how many we're going to use for that particular field. We're just going to be focusing on that one yet for the canola. But I'll buy in a few. There we go. Disconnect that. Disconnect that. I think for now we'll turn the engine off on that one. I'm probably thinking about it actually. I'm thinking about this on the fly. We'll probably stick with the 7810 here. We'll stick the drill on the back of here and do the job in that tractor. But we'll take a trip down to the shop because across that saving that we've just made from that whole lime purchase and usage, I'm going to be able to afford to. I mean, I could afford it anyway, but I am trying to be as frugal as I can at the minute on this save game. With me trying to dig myself out of debt, so what I can afford to do is purchase a pallet fork for this truck, so we can pick up the pallets, load them onto the back of our trailer here, and get them back to the farm. Now, the reason why I'm going to stick with the 7810 is because the capacity of our seed drill isn't particularly big, and it is only 4 meters wide. So I'd imagine again that I'm going to need to top up the seed drill at least once, no doubt, during the planting of this field here. So yeah, I'm going to keep the trailer on the back of this thing and have this in running support at the edge of the field there in case we do run out. So anyway, down to the shop. I'll see you there in a few minutes' time. Right then, down at the store now, just loading up with some seed. I've spent in total in the last few moments $11,780. I've spent $10,080 on 8,400 litres of seed and $1,700 on the pallet forks that we got on the front here. So, all sorted now. I know we're not going to need this much seed for the field, but of course it just makes sense to have it on the farm, doesn't it? So we'll get this lot strapped on now, get it back to the farm. And yeah, like I said before, I think it's time to stick with taking advantage of a reasonably nice evening that we've got here on Kentucky. And we'll get our canola drilled in field 29. So, get myself all sorted here, and I'll pick you back up at the farm in a few moments' time. Right then, back at the field now. Now, the only downside, I suppose, to using these pallets of seed as opposed to the big bags is you can't actually visually tip them in using the pallet forks and holding them up the seeder and seeing the seed actually, you know, go into the seeder, as it were. So, just got to reverse up and do it that way. But there we are, 800 litres in the hopper behind us. So, yeah, this is going to take a while. I'm not under no illusions. This is going to be a pretty big job. Yes, it's 6:30 in the evening, so we'll probably be working into the dark. But it's all good. Like I said, I'm just taking advantage of the time and all that. But in my usual style, I think we'll throw a bit of music behind this colossal job. But we'll be getting our first seed into the ground, so that's brilliant. So I'm looking forward to this. And the one thing I am really looking forward to, actually, is this is my first proper full field attempt at utilising the new row crop system that this map does support. I haven't actually, you know, I've done a little bit of testing with it, you know, but I haven't actually done a full field. So when it we'll get this into the ground, and then when we move into the next month, we should see the effect that it has. And I'm really looking forward to that, to see when the crop actually germinates and we get to see it all in its perfectly neat rows. That's the bit I'm really keen to see. So we'll get cracking on anyway now, and I'll see you in a few hours' time, no doubt, when the seed's in the ground. Right, here we are. We're just over an hour into it now, about an hour and 20 minutes, give or take a bit. But yeah, we're doing all right. Now, I must admit, I am literally the worst when it comes to guesstimating how much any particular product is needed for any particular field. Obviously, I've already completely got it wrong when it came to the lime, which is great. I'm happy with that because it was really, really cheap. I just thought I was going to be going back into filling up a few times, but yeah, when it comes to the seeds as well, as you can see behind us, we've used exactly 20% of the hopper here already. We've still got 640 litres left in it. This is the first tank that we filled, so I kind of spent a load of money on a load of seeds there that I didn't really need to do. Now, it's fine. We've got loads of seeds on the farm now at least, so we've got plenty for the future. And a big part of this, I think, is the majority, well, the whole of the field to our right here at the minute has been, excuse me, completely loam. So we've been running on a very low seed rate according to precision farming, which is great. That's been a good thing. We are just now, if I jump into the PDA very quickly, as you can see, we are just encroaching into the area of the field which is sandy loam. So when it comes to seed rate, we'll probably start ramping up a little bit into the standard numbers, usage, as it were. But it's all good. I still think we're still going to get through the whole field, probably, on this entire tank. So that's great. So anyway, I'm going to crack on. I think, according to Courseplay, we have 1 hour and 33 minutes left to get this done. 10 to 8 in the evening, so we'll be about 9 o'clock-ish, bit after when we're done. 9:30-ish, give or take a bit, but it's all good. So I'm going to crack on, and I'll pick you up when it's done. There we go, folks. We've drilled our first crop in the series. Really happy with that. And we've still got 374 litres in our first hopper of seed. So, yeah, that seed's going to go a long way. So during that relatively long time, I've just been planning what we've got to sort out moving forward. Now, of course, we've still got to roll that field to get as much yield out of it as possible within the mechanics of how Farming Simulator works, of course. But I don't have a roller, so I think the correct order to do things is we're going to, next episode, and tomorrow is, of course, on the 2nd day of September, we're going to drill the other field that we limed earlier, the custom field round the back there in amongst the trees. We're going to drill that with some barley, and then we will lease a field roller and get them both done at once. Again, I'm just filling up there with that little bit of seed that we've got left there. There we go. Let's just turn that off for now. Which way's opening the door? That's the one. There we go. Got to take full advantage of this cab cinematic mod. It is absolutely brilliant. So yeah, anyway, job done. That's our first field drilled. So where are we at now? It's 9:30 at night. Yeah, like I say, I've done a bit of sorting out. We've got a built-in shelving unit here, so all those pallets of seed that I purchased before are now sat stowed away on the shelves there, which is great. I did consider initially, I hadn't actually realised that I had those shelves there. I almost spent $2,750 on one of the placeable in the construction menu, one of the big shelving units there, so that was a close call. That $2,750 on a shelving unit was more than we spent on the line for all those fields, wasn't it? So yeah, but obviously thinking on as well, like I said, we're going to drill that field with barley, then we'll lease a roller, get the 2 fields rolled over, and then that's job done. Then once the crops have germinated in October, then we'll be jumping in the 4440 there on the row crop tyres, hitching up the sprayer, and we'll be dousing it with a bit of liquid fertiliser as well to bring that yield up to its maximum. And then that's those 2 fields dealt with. But of course, I mentioned it a couple of episodes ago, and it's one thing that I've been toying over what to do with. But on this map at the minute, as we stand, there is nowhere on the map to sell milk, or goat milk for that matter. And obviously we've got cows and goats here, so there was the mindset of investing in a dairy or sort of some description on the map. Now, one thing I did, the usual kind of dairy factories, production systems are pretty expensive, a couple $100,000, but the base game now does give us the smaller production systems, which are only about 36 grand. I'll jump into the construction menu and just remind you all of the ones I'm talking about, but it's ones like this, which is just like a bit of a kind of canopy kind of thing with a production system built inside it. Now, 36 grand, it's relatively affordable. I'm not going to do it right now because we've got some goat milk and we've got some milk from the cows, but there's not enough to warrant the investment in it just yet. But I think this is the way I'm going to go, because one of the negative things about these particular ones is they are very slow. They don't have a huge capacity, which I can change if I wanted to, but with the amount of milk that our animals are going to be producing here, I don't think I need to worry about the capacity too much. But the actual pace of the production systems itself are relatively slow. But we do now have available to us on the mod hub the production control mod, which I've used a couple of times on previous saves. Now, this enables you to dial up the speed of your productions by up to 300%. The mod is by two folks called Temik and Martin3825. Like I say, it's over on the Mod Hub, but that will just allow me to increase the rate of the productions by up to 300%. And I think for the sake of placing it down, I think somewhere like this is a relatively ideal place. Obviously, it's not too big, it's not too imposing, it doesn't have a huge footprint, so I think somewhere like this will just sit it nicely. And then we've got somewhere to throw our goat milk and cow milk in here, and then we can make a bit of money from the productions that we get after that, because obviously we can produce bottled goat milk, we can produce cheese and butter and bottled normal bottled milk if we wanted to. Obviously, once we've got the production system down, I'll have a bit of a look into what's going to be the most financially sensible things to produce from that production system. But I think, you know, things like bottled goat milk does fetch a pretty penny, and there is places, there's the farmers market on the map here to sell the bottled products and cheese and butter and all that kind of stuff. It's just not the base milk. So if we can sort that out, that would be a pretty good thing. But yeah, like I say, I think I'm not quite in the position to need to invest in it yet. If we jump into stock check and have a look at where we're at with what we've got, we've only got 898 litres of normal milk, and we've got 262 litres of goat milk. So at the minute, there's not much point in doing anything with that stuff yet. I'll just wait for that to build up and build up. We'll have a quick look at the animals anyway and have a look at where we're up to. 100% health, of course. They've started their reproduction cycle is started, so these are at 10% reproduction, and the sheep are at 20, and as are the goats as well. We'll probably need to top them up with a bit of water in the next episode tomorrow in the morning. They're all right for food, of course. Where were the cows at for food? 2 months and 2 days left of the food that they've currently got in their trough, but we've got plenty to fall back on in bale form over in the shed over there, so that's all good. So yeah, got a bit of a game plan moving forward. I think we've certainly made good use of today. What is it, 9:30 at night now, pretty much bang on. So we've got a bit done. There's still a handful of contracts in the contract menu that I could take on if I wanted to. I think I do need to focus initially at the start of the next episode on sorting out that barley in the other custom field over there. Get that drilled, lease a roller, get them both rolled over, and then we'll see where we're up to there. But that's at least a couple of our crops then will be in the field. And then when we do jump into October, I think the next crop that we're going to have to harvest is going to be our 2 little fields of soybeans over there. We'll get those out the ground and into the silo just to stow away until best sell time, and then once they're out the ground, then we can run the plough and join both those fields together. But also, I'll just take a quick run down there, but like I said, I mentioned before that the idea is to join those 2 fields together, but also just take advantage of it's not a massive plot of land, don't get me wrong. I don't think this is going to be a overly massive field, but we can certainly make it bigger, bringing the field that we've got there in the distance just round here, taking advantage of this plot of land here, and it can certainly wind its way into this little area here as well. We may as well, it's our land, we may as well turn it into something that can make money for us, haven't we? There's no point in having it just sit here like this it's just kind of meadowland, as it were. And I'm not going to lose any sleep over mowing this first or anything. It's we've got plenty of grass. But yeah, so we'll get these soybeans harvested, create this nice bigger field, join them all together, and then I think this field is going to be potentially grass, I think, because we do still need to keep a field of grass on the farm for the future. We've got plenty as it is. We're going to have even more when it comes to harvest, to mowing the other meadowland area that we've got down there, which I plan on putting wheat into once we've got the grass out. As I said before, we'll be wrapping a load of the grass bales and selling those for silage when they're fermented. Add a few more grass bales into our collection, I suppose, that we've got over there. So yeah, we have a game plan moving forward. I've got a crop plan for the fields, and yeah, looking forward to getting my teeth into the next one. But I think for today's episode, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to call it here. Thank you very much for watching. I really do hope you have enjoyed the video and found it a little bit of fun. As always, if you're new to the channel and you've enjoyed the video and you like the way I'm doing things, please consider hitting that subscribe button and jumping on board, joining the channel. Please give that like button a hit as well. It does do wonders. It helps the YouTube algorithm do its thing. And if you like the idea of supporting the channel, there are a number of ways you can do that. There is my Giants Partner promo code, if any of you are in the market for purchasing Farming Simulator 25 or any of its add-ons or DLCs. There is coffee.com, if you'd like to buy me a coffee. And there is also my G-Portal affiliate link, if any of you are in the market for an online server to play with your mates. Any help and support with these, ladies and gentlemen, would be hugely appreciated. All the links will be in the video description below, of course. So, thank you very much for your time again, ladies and gentlemen. Take care. And I'll see you in the next one.